Hey guys, it's Shelby and welcome back to Ginger Boom Studios. Hey guys, we have another 6 fan art challenge today. This one's much shorter, but I did record it, so I didn't want to waste it. And today we're doing Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you guys want to check out shorter videos I did and just the pictures themselves, you can head over to my Instagram or my TikTok at Ginger Boom Studios if you feel like it. No pressure, as always. But just enjoy the video, and we're gonna get started talking briefly about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the project itself because it was a little bit challenging for me. So, Avatar: The Last Airbender was one of my favorite shows ever as a kid. I think I was about 12 when it came out, and then I was very excited about it, but I got into it again in college and really obsessed with it. Brian Konietzko, who was one of the co-runners of that show and The Legend of Korra, came to my school to give a talk, and when I tell you that I lost my mind, I lost my mind. I was really sad that I didn't get a chance to talk with him, and I had brought my Art of Avatar book with me, and I had hoped he could sign it, but he was very busy and he had to talk to the seniors about their projects. I was very jealous, but I appreciated him coming to give a talk anyway. It was super cool, super fun to watch. Would highly recommend. But super fun for me. I also have a tattoo from Avatar: The Last Airbender that a lot of people don't know about because I don't show it very often, but it is the writing on Zuko's blade that he gets, and it says "Never give up without a fight," and I checked that on Google 7 billion times before I got it to make sure that's actually what it said instead of like ass or something. But yeah, I got that because it was a really hard time in my life and the show meant so much to me, and it still does. I'm really excited that it's going to be on Netflix because somehow I haven't bought all of the seasons yet. I think I only have season 1 right now. I think it's because it was on streaming for a while and I was like, oh, I'll just wait, and then it was off streaming forever. So I am going to have to buy it at some point soon. I adore the show. I think it has great messages. Unlike most Avatar fans, I actually loved the sequel, Legend of Korra. But let me tell you my beef. My main beef is actually with the comic series, which takes place in between Avatar, you know, the beginning series, and then Legend of Korra. I really don't like what they did to Zuko's character, and frankly it really annoyed me, so I stopped buying them because I couldn't take it anymore. But I still love the series as a whole. Totally recommend the original, and I personally even like Legend of Korra. I don't know why a lot of people don't, but if you don't watch it. That's all I have to say. Anyway, let's get into what I really want to talk about. Before I get into the project, Azula. Oh my god, Azula was my favorite character. I feel like that's a controversial hot take. I've actually talked to her voice actress. It was super cool. A big fan of Grey DeLisle and her work. I really love her voice acting for many things, but I think Azula's character was treated fairly poorly in the comics, which is another reason I stopped reading them. But she's such an interesting, like, golden child, falls from grace, and kind of like, just because she's the golden child doesn't mean she actually got what she wanted. Because growing up, I was the straight A kid. I was, you know, bragging points for my parents, it felt like, and I felt like I never got what I really wanted. And then when I was in college, it made things so much harder. So I feel like I really related to her, and she's such an interesting, cool character that I don't know if people can replicate. I think people compare her to Catra, actually, from She-Ra far too much, and I don't think that's a fair comparison because they're really not very similar. They are similar in that they kind of get angry at some points and are like, I just want to watch the world burn, but not for the same reasons, and not really. I think people think their arcs really mirror each other, but I personally disagree. I think Catra's arc is going to be more like Zuko's, but that show's not over yet, so we will see, I suppose. So let's talk about the project. Drawing Momo was actually really hard for me. One, because he's not one of my favorite characters in the show, which I feel bad about saying. He's cute, like him. Doesn't really matter to me either way though, you know? Like, he's cute, I like him, but you know? He was hard for me because I rarely draw animals, and let's be honest, this 6 fan art challenge was actually quite difficult for me. One, because I'm trying to develop my style, which comes and goes, you know? But I don't draw animals very much, and I don't draw men very much. And in this series, I drew 2 animal type characters. I drew him, Momo, and Legoshi from Beastars, which I haven't watched yet, but someone requested it. And I draw Lotor from Voltron, which I also haven't watched. So it was really pushing me outside my comfort zone. I think I struggled more with Momo, honestly, because I have to be real, guys. I find monkeys a little freaky. Momo, thankfully, isn't freaky, but a lot of them are. And I wanted to avoid, you know, how certain monkeys look really freaky. I think Momo's supposed to be closer to like a lemur than a monkey, but still, you know, I just really wanted to avoid that. I also wasn't sure what kind of background I wanted to do because, like, you need the white to be contrasted against something darker, or you'll just kind of lose it. You'll lose where his shape is, you'll lose it all, you know? It's a little frustrating. Also, the reference picture I picked didn't have his tail in it, so I just decided not to put his tail in it because I did not know what to do. I didn't know what to do with him. His huge ears also were like a big problem. He's not my favorite out of this. I'd actually say he's my least favorite out of the 6 fan arts that I did, but I think it's important I did him and Legoshi and Lotor because I don't really push myself out of my comfort zone. I am a big lesbian and I like to draw women and girls, and that's pretty much it. I don't really draw children very much either. Except for the entire cast I did of The Vision of Escaflowne, because almost all those girls are children, which when you're 12 you don't really think about. You think they're all adults because anime is confusing, but I don't really draw a lot of, you know, men or animals, and I would like to work on that and change that. I think along with backgrounds, it's one of my big weaknesses, and I think it's important to do things like this because it'll push you out of your comfort zone. I would really like to rev up at some point when I finally have my style really hammered down and work on a comic idea I have, but that will require a lot of backgrounds, and I also have 2 dog characters that will be pretty central to the story, so I'm gonna have to get more comfortable drawing dogs. And I don't know, it's hard to draw things you're not super excited about. So I think I either have to get myself super excited and ramped up, or I just have to practice so much that I'm not nervous, because sometimes I think it's nerves, you know? I'm worried that I won't make the character look the way I want. I'm worried that it'll ruin the rest of the piece, and it's been holding me back, you know? It's not super helpful, it's not great, and I want to be different, you know? The longer I'm in art school, it's gonna be 2 4-year degrees at some point. I don't want to be afraid to just jump off and start trying things, but at the same time, I don't want to be afraid to say when I don't know something, you know? It's a very fine line to walk when you become an adult, between admitting you don't know how to do something and also being like, no, but I need to try so that I can learn, you know? I feel like there's a lot of stuck areas, especially for us perfectionist kids who were forced to try and make everything perfect. So I would encourage you guys to do the 6 fan art challenge and not just ignore characters that either don't interest you or that you think would be really hard to draw, because I really wanted to avoid especially Legoshi from Beastars, because I don't draw like furries like ever, you know, like human animal hybrid type stuff ever, and it was very stressful for me and I tried to avoid it, but he actually came out pretty good, so I'm really glad that I challenged myself, you know? You guys should too if you make art. If you don't worry about it. But thanks you guys so much for watching. Here's the first 3. If you want to see the rest, like I said, on my TikTok or my Instagram at Ginger Boom Studios. It's really great that some of you guys keep coming back, and I really appreciate it. Please stay safe. Please take care of each other, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks so much. Bye.